Hello, Tony here from Lightwave Digital. Today we're going to look at how we can UV a basic sphere. So obviously a lot of people are just going to thinking, well, you just click the ball. Let's just bring up numerical. Let's imagine I'm going to do a 5 centimeter sphere, like so. There we go, and I want to UV this. So depending on how you're going to UV or what you want to use it for. So let's say I wanted to just do a basic planet. You could simply just come to UV, make UV, call it planet, spherical, live update, change your top view to your UV view so you can see it, click create, and there you have it. However, if you look at the geometry, it's not the same at all. So if you've got a lot of the times when you actually download a free planet texture like the Earth and so on, which I believe I have got one, when you actually apply it, it'll work, but it'll work fine because it's created in that way. However, let's imagine you wanted to put, like, say, your company logo on one side and then on the other. If you took this through, you can see how it's stretched, and you say you put it into Photoshop or whatever, it's going to be stretched. Even if you put it like a circle, let's say you've got a circle as a logo, it'll stretch out, it won't work. So I only really do it this way if I'm going to put maybe a planet. So let's just press Q on my keyboard and give it a surface name of planet. And then if we look in image editor, and let's just load up a planet like so, and then let's just apply it. Surface editor, double click the layer, and then we're just using a 2D image, and then it's image to image, and then from the drop down let's add the planet. We're using a UV, and there's a planet, and it's done, UV'd. So there, straightforward, yeah. Look at this. Look how long the actual planet is compared to here. So if I load it up in here, I squished it, but it works on here. So it's been created like this to work on this kind of UV sphere. Okay, so let's just get rid of this, and let's get rid of that. So I'm going to delete this UV now. So to do that, you go to vertex maps under texture, and it's here, look, right mouse click and delete it like so. Now let's imagine I want to UV it, so I've got, let's say, a logo on either side. So in this instance I want to make a bingo ball, so I've got the name of the company on one side and then the bingo number ball on the other. So how would I do about that? So if it was me, there's a few things I would do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to UV it. So I'll go to the UV tab, UV. I'm going to do it as a plane art, and if I'm looking, you can see through the Z. So I'm going to do it through the Z, put live update on. So now this is one side and the opposite side on top of each other. So that's all I want. Let's just call it bingo ball UV. Sorted. Okay. Let's give it a surface name. So Q. Okay, like so. And then what I'll do is in the top view, so I'm going to change my front to the top. Let's just make sure you're on polygons at the bottom, and I'm just going to lasso around and select one side. So as you can see, I've got this side selected here. Then I'm just going to go to modify move, and I'm going to move it to the side like so. So I've got actual both them selected. So I've space bar and forward slash to drop it, and I'm going to select them both, and then I'm just going to use the size tool, and I'm going to size them down, and I'm going to place them inside my UV box here. bit smaller, like so. I'm using the size and the move tool, like so. So I'm ready. So all I've got to do is get the textures in there, so it's whatever's inside here. So the first thing I would do is I would probably go up to the IO tab, EPS, export. I don't want the grid, and I don't want all the windows. I just want the UV window, and I'm going to save it. I'm just going to save it to my desktop as Bingo Ball 35, because I'm going to make this 35, and then press OK. Then let's bring up Photoshop. Let's open on the desktop the EPS. First time you open up, you can leave everything the same apart from make sure your mode is RGB. If it's CYMK, it will work, but it will not look right. It'll probably be black and white, and so it just needs to be RGB. And obviously these are squished. So we can leave everything the same. And here we've got it. So whatever we put inside here now is what we can use. So I've actually made one earlier. Here. And as you can see, like so. So if I was to, let's say, choose all these, let's drag it onto my new one. Help if I did it right. Like this. Okay, let's move it roughly into place. And so I always have my grid on top, and then you can see where they're placed. So what you can do now is you can change the colour. I've got a colour overlay because it was originally red. We can leave it red, and then whatever's inside here. So for instance, for the Buzz logo, if I just lock the grid, if I just grab the Buzz logo, and then you decide, okay, I want to put that there, maybe there, and then the Eclipse and the 21, let's move that, let's put it, let's say it's roughly in the centre. Let's say that. Oh, keep missing it. Turn the grid off, and then we can just save this out as a JPEG, which I've already done. We go back through here, go to Surface Editor, Bingo Ball 35, the image node, image to image. Let's load in that 35. Bingo Ball 35, I think it's this one. Make sure that it's on UV map and Bingo Ball UV. So it's added it. There's 35, but you've noticed the Bingo Buzz is the wrong way around. So there's two things you can do. You can go into Photoshop and flip the image, or you can see which half it's on. You can then right mouse click and carefully lasso around it, and under the UV map there's a UV flip. So this is the side to side, this is up and down, so flip it and then you've got it. And then what you've got is the UV ready, like so. So if we have a look without it, we can go in and click smoothing to make it a bit smoother, or we could tab it. But let's say for instance now I want another one, so I wouldn't go and create another one. I double click my layers, so my layers are over here, look, give it a Bingo Ball 35, the first one, and then I'm going to copy and paste it. So Command C, Command V, and I'm going to, while I'm on it, I'm going to call this Bingo Ball 33, like so. Okay, I'll call it Bungo. Let's just, there we go. So now what I want to do, because I've got two exactly the same balls, is I'm going to use exactly the same UV. So I'm not re-UV in this because it's just a copy. I'm just going to give it a new surface name. So Q on your keyboard. I'm just going to call this Bingo Ball 33, like so. And obviously it will go like this. 33 will appear in your surface editor. Here we can simply go through here. Let's right mouse click and copy this from our original. Double click 33, paste it in, and then plug it in, and then just change the image to 33, which I've already done using the same kind of UV from before. And there we have it. And again, you can just smooth it and tab it and so on and so forth, and you can just keep copying and pasting as many times as you want, copying. So I mean really it could do it as many times. I'm not sure how many bingo balls there is it like 90 or 100 or something like that, but you could have all them and just load them in one by one as you need them. But that's one way, and the easiest way of just doing it. And you've also got the UV and Photoshop that you can manipulate as many times as you want. The other way, and the other thing you could do if you want, so let's say for instance you've got you want to have images on 4 sides and then some on the top and the bottom. Now I haven't done this much, but the last time I kind of did it. So if I just go and make another ball like so, under the UV, make UV, if you go to Atlas and press live, it does this. Don't worry about what it's adding there. So you get the top, you get 4 sides, look, so there's one. So this is each side, and then you can take this into Photoshop and you can add your actual logo and stuff or whatever you want on each side of this. You just need to make sure it's got its own surface and stuff. So you would give it another name and do the same thing, but obviously let's say bingo ball 21, and then you would this time choose this UV, and it's kind of as easy as that really for when you're doing actual spheres. They're the kind of ways I kind of use it. So hopefully this has helped. Look out for the next tutorial.